Okay, hello guys, how you doing? Lots to talk about in this one. We are going to be going through basically everything that happened in that recent announcement that occurred on Friday. Actually, funny story about that. I got up at 6 in the morning my time to watch it. Luckily enough, actually, I got to it about 23 minutes in. So if you actually watch it, you can see. You can actually see like some of my comments that I put in there. So that was kind of cool. The announcement was absolutely crazy. There was so many things they put in there. So it's going to be a... Gotta lower my fan a little bit. It's kind of loud. Maybe 2 speeds. You know what? We're not doing any audio today. So actually, let me do one quick thing. Audio... Yeah, get rid of the echo cancellation real quick. Okay, cool. And one other saying, make sure we're good to go. All right. Now I can blast my fan, and you guys won't hear it. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, so the announcement was pretty crazy. There is a lot of things to discuss here. The goal is to go over basically the entire announcement, go through some theories I have, questions you guys might have, but we're going to try to get through everything we learned. And there was a ton of stuff. Some stuff I'm very excited about. Some stuff that I am not excited about. And maybe I'm alone here. You know, it's possible that I'm the only one experiencing fridge logic because, you know, I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not a fan. So we will. I'll explain what I mean when we get there. I have a bunch of links opened up for different, I guess, articles I was reading about the game because obviously I can't speak Japanese, so I had to find some translations of what they were saying. And thankfully, actually, in the video, they someone actually wrote like a translation of what they said, like in timestamps. But on the website itself, you actually have the same information they were discussing. I translated those pages, and I was able to learn everything we can about the game. So because we got a lot to do, I'm going to go through, we're not going to waste too much time here. We're going to start with the story. And I was actually going to give you guys a quick summary from really my own words, but instead, let's just go over what they said here. So I have it written up. I got some notes on my iPad. Actually, I don't have an iPad. I'm not that wealthy. My little tablet here. Okay. I'm going to read to you the synopsis here of what they said during the streaming, during the live stream. That was, in case you're wondering where. Hopefully this doesn't crash the thing. I don't want to open I don't want to open another tab online because it might slow down the stream. So hopefully this is good enough. Let's see. In case you're wondering where this comes from. So let me just share my screen. So I know. Okay. Now hopefully, let's get that out of the way. No need to see that. Okay. So let's move up here. This is the trailer. We'll get to that too, but we're going to go through the trailers. We're going to go through a lot. We're going to go through everything. So let's start with, I'm going to put a little thing in case you're wondering what's going on here. All right, this is what we're talking about. The story of Genesis Re code. Hopefully I spelled that right. Spelling was never my thing. Okay. So at some point in the trailer, where was it? Was this it? Nope. He was going over, we'll get to that too. There's the roadmap. We'll discuss the recapture, by the way, at the end, or close to the end, in case you're wondering. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So on the website, they have this exact thing, and it's translated. So I'm going to translate you what they said. Okay. In 2019, peace came to the world with the Zero Requiem, in which the masked man Zero defeated the evil, rebellious emperor Lelouch of the Holy Britannian Empire. However, behind the scenes, something happened to C's world, which leads to the collective unconsciousness, which is the root of Geass. The pure feeling of the boy who wished, I want tomorrow, are influenced by fate, cause and effect, and the will of the person. And as a result, C's world loses its original function and stops the world's activities. The story begins with a boy named Al, or when a boy Al, who has no memory of waking up in a world that has stopped, is entrusted with a wish by a mysterious girl, Gigi, who suddenly appears in front of him. The cause of stopping the world is called the last moon. In order to move the world forward, it's necessary to collect the pieces of the Geass scattered in every space and time. Then Al, who has phase transition Geass that transcends space-time was told that he was an observer. Gigi's wish is to destroy the last moon and to move the world forward. Al embarks on a journey to fulfill Gigi's wishes and regain his memories. However, the world that awoke after using his Geass is not myself. At that time, I was awakened, was an observer of the Keyman, who spins the story. Okay, there is a lot to take in with this. When I first read it, I was like, okay, makes sense. But then when I took a step back and I really thought about it, this was actually kind of confusing. So let's try to. There's a lot of questions I have about this story. Okay, uh, first thing about this is first thing question I have is what universe does this take place in? Because is this the original timeline? Is this the alternative timeline? This is something I'm still wondering because if you look at the menu or the main page of Genesis Re Code, there are still no characters uh, of or from Lucia the Resurrection. So the question is, where does this take place? As far as I know, I think it's the main timeline, but it's a little confusing. I wish they would explain that. Now it says the world was like things stopped, time stopped essentially. And the question I have is, was that in all the timelines, or was that just in Al's timeline? Again, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Also, in case you're wondering, I think we already know this already, but um, Al is this guy here, and this is Gigi. Now it says Wish, by the way, and Wish is a Geass. His Geass power, by the way, lets him transcends time or observe time, I believe. In case you're wondering, so that's this is Al, the new character, and that's Gigi. Now it doesn't say this here, but when you watch the trailer, and I have an image of it. I think I do. Is this the one? No, no. This is the one. So where is it? Maybe it's this one. No, it was the previous. Okay, I got to go to the video. So when you go to the video, and we'll go through this in more depth. But I just wanted to show you something quick here. If I go to this part here, let's make it bigger. No sound for obvious reasons. Give me a second here. Okay. Come on. Yeah. So you see this. Let me go back to it. So Gigi obviously had Al when he was a kid. So I don't know when they said that a boy, when Al was woken into a world that stopped time. I don't know this is before or after he met Gigi. I have no idea. They're not really clear about that because these two are obviously together, and she obviously gave him the Geass power that allows him to travel, or not travel, observe things. And the question that I have is, so does the Geass power allow him to travel, let's say, to other timelines or even, I guess, universes, right? Because if we have Lucia of the Resurrection involved, I guess it's all universes. Or is it just to observe them? Which is, it's kind of weird. They don't really explain that, and that's kind of it's kind of bothering me. And then when it comes to like the other characters we see in the trailer or in the game, the question I have is, I've been wondering for a while now. Usually when you have a game or a movie or really any context where they bring back the old guard or people from different dimensions to like fight off something, they have to explain why. And as far as I can tell, they haven't really explained why they need these people to come back. They also haven't really explained if every dimension is stopped or just his. It's very confusing. It's funny because their explanation, I think, is fairly decent, but there's a lot of stuff that I would like more information on because we just don't really know anything. I'm hoping that when the game actually comes out and people play through it, the answers will be revealed. But the time being, that explanation, I'm more confused than I was going in. And then, I guess going further with this, we know that Lelouch and C2, or L2 now, right? They're looking for the shards after what happened to Shamna. So, what they're doing similar to what Gigi and Al are doing? Because they're collecting the shards too. Because in the trailer, let me show you that real quick. In the trailer, where is it? Maybe I don't have to actually get the image or the video going. Is it here? Yeah, these shards are appearing. They don't explain like where these come from. Is this because the Geass Seas world became a collective unconsciousness and it put the world to sleep? I don't see the connection between that and the Geass shards. Now it says that. Let me read this one more time because this is extremely confusing. Because of course it has to be. It says here. No, not here. Give me a second here. Live streams. I have all these. What? Mm. Okay, finally, it actually my OneNote's acting up right now. Okay, it says that after Zero Requiem, the Siege World did something odd. The question I have is this because Lelouch told Siege World to not stop time? Is this ironically because it did stop time, right? So it looks like whatever Lelouch wanted didn't happen. But is it because he told Siege World to stop time? They don't really explain. So I'm just kind of confused at what they mean by that. Or is it what happened to Shamla at the end of the resurrection? Which of the things is what they're talking about when they said that the Siege World kind of went crazy? It says that the feelings, the pure feelings of a boy who wished I want it tomorrow. Are they talking about Lelouch? Because Lelouch wanted it tomorrow. Or are they talking about Al? Or both? It's kind of confusing. But then again, this is Code Geass, so what do you expect? To be honest, they always, when it comes to explanations or discussions or ideas, it's always extremely unclear, and that's what you expect from Code Geass, to be unclear. And apparently, they said the last moon, which is this, by the way, this is stopping all of time apparently. So here's another question I have, not to again, not to open a can of worms here, but okay, this thing is stopping all the time. How is it that anyone else can move freely in this world besides besides Al and Gigi? Like, how does Cycle move? How does Lelouch move? How does Akito, Renya, Alderaan, Orpheus, whoever, or Orpheus, whatever I think his name is? They don't explain that. Does his gas power make other people immune from it? I have no idea. And again, they have to explain why they need these characters to come back to help them out. They haven't explained why we need Lelouch there. I can kind of guesstimate or I have a hypothesis that I think Lelouch and Renya, Akito, Orpheus, probably anyone who's related to Geass is probably needed for this. So I would definitely go there. Like, that's probably what they need those characters. But why do they need Shirley, Nunnally, right? I don't know. It's kind of odd to me. Um, yeah, and the phase transition Geass, I should have figured out that was his power. Although what is kind of odd to me, and this is like a really minor nitpick, but based on what we know for Geass powers, and again, really minor nitpick, but why is the Geass red? So, in case you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, if you go to the first trailer, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, here, I think his eyes red. No. Well, anyways, when he uses Geass power, we'll get to the trailer later, but it's actually red. And the reason why this is kind of strange to me is because if you guys are not aware, let me go to Lucia's Resurrection. If you're not aware, hopefully this doesn't. Shamla's Geass power. Let's see if I can find it real quick. It's a very famous scene in the movie. Come on. Where are you? We're almost there. Lucia has to basically destroy everything, and then she goes back in time, and then there's a reason for this. I promise. Patience. Okay, C2 gets shot up. All right, let's go. Let's go a little faster. Hopefully no one freaks out because I'm going really fast here. Okay. Their plan executes. Shamla. Okay, right here. So Shamla's Geass is yellow and has the ability to travel through time. So my thought is, if the power that Al has can do this, why is it red? Wouldn't it be yellow or blue or something? I just see, like, considering how powerful this Geass is. I mean, considering the fact this is this Geass has the ability to observe all time and space, to get all the shards, which they don't explain where they came from. Like when Siege World exploded, did all the shards just go around the entire all universes and timelines? We have no idea. But the point I'm trying to make is that why is his Geass power? Why is it red as opposed to yellow? Again, it's a very strange nitpick. I'm just, I'm watching this stuff. I'm asking questions here because, given what we know about this universe, that doesn't really the logic doesn't follow there. It should be red or no, it should be blue or yellow or maybe a new color because this is the first Geass that I know of that can do this. Now, it's possible if Shamla had advanced her Geass ability using Nunnally and also Siege World, whichever left of it, that might have made her Geass ability to do this sort of thing. But we don't know, and that's kind of frustrating. I would like to see more or explain that better. When they say the Keyman, by the way, I think that's the guy with the Shogun. This unknown person we don't know. Yeah, this. I think this is the Keyman. Who is this person? I have no idea. I don't think it's Lelouch or Suzaku because he's kind of tall. Like if you look at the encounter, he's kind of tall. So I don't think it's Suzaku or Lelouch. I honestly don't know who it is, but that's a whole nother thing. Now, when they went to the story, I'm kind of over the place here, but I kind of want to we're going to be jumping around a lot because I have so many thoughts on this trailer or this announcement. So when they go to the story, they played through it. There was a part, and if I don't have the image for it, I will simply I'll simply just go to the video itself. I have timestamps if I have to do that route or go that route. Yeah, it's right here. So when they show the gameplay of how the story mode is, you see the collective consciousness talking to Al. And this is kind of confusing because if the collective consciousness became the collective unconsciousness, then why would she be awakened? It's very, very bizarre to me. Does she want Al to fix the world so nothing dies? I figured, from all the anime I've watched, I figured she would probably be the one who was in the moon or something. Because, if everything got corrupted, wouldn't she be the one in there causing all this trouble? So it's kind of bizarre to me that this character is talking to Al. Again, I don't know the full context here, what was happening in the scene, but it sounds like they're working together on this. Again, they have to explain this better in terms of like everything being frozen in time and things like that. Because I'm kind of lost here. I'm trying my best to understand this, but I'm at the same time though I don't really get what's going on with this story. Let's see. I got some more questions here. Let's see. I think I had some other ones. Well, if it comes down, I'll come back to it again. All right, let's go through comments real quick, and then we will continue on to other parts of the announcement. But basically, the story is in a nutshell, the story is this. The collective consciousness, for whatever reason, became the collective unconsciousness because someone messed with C's World. Either it was Lelouch when he destroyed the Ragnarok connection. It could have been after what he did with Shamna. Like I said 2019, which is the Zero Requiem. And it could have also been something Al did. Oh, and one other thing, too. Actually, let me finish the thought here. Okay. And then we'll get to one more question I had. All right. One more time. So the story is simply this. C's world became collective unconsciousness. The whole world essentially has stopped, which was what Charles wanted, I guess. So I guess what he wanted happened. And because of that, Al needs to collect all the shards. I don't know where they came from, but the shards to fix this problem. They also have to destroy the moon, the lost moon, which is causing this in the first place. To do this, he's traveling throughout the entire time and space to collect these shards. I guess during that time, he encounters other characters from different time periods and universes. So that's the base of the story that we know of. Now, there's two more questions I have, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. The first question I have, actually, two questions, and I'll read some comments. The first question that I have is, why is this actually, if you remember the end of, I got to first set this up. In the end of Zero Requiem, right, Caesar was destroyed, and nothing really happened to the rest of the world. Everything was kind of fine. And then in Lucia the Resurrection, and in that film, when the shards from the Geass were around the world, spread around the world, Lelouch and C2 were going to go get them. But I never got the impression from C2 or Lelouch that if they didn't do this, there'd be something bad happening. So where's the precedent that if C's world got damaged, it would cause this effect? Because I thought the whole point of what Lelouch was doing was so this wouldn't happen. If destroying C's world caused everything to stop time, which is what Charles wanted, then what was the point of what Lelouch did? This doesn't make any sense. And my head hurts. It's like, but like they didn't want to stop time, but by preventing the stopping of time, they stopped time. I'm really confused on that. That's the first question. I hope the game answers it. And the other question I have is, for the longest time, I've been wondering this. So I've been looking at the gameplay footage. Maybe you guys are wondering it too. But what are these things? Hold on. Like I know what they are, but I also don't know what they are. I want some footage here. Uh, yeah, these things. These massive creatures. Like what is this exactly? I don't recall any time in Code Geass they were fighting monstrous creatures that looked like this that I'm aware of. I have no idea what this is. I feel like they had no idea what they wanted to do for villains, so they create some kind of creatures they fight. Of course, just like Bleach, the mask is the way to kill them. I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there, guys. That was not copying, but they don't really explain what the heck this is. It isn't like there were creatures in C's world that like attacked Lelouch or C2. There was that spiral of people, but I don't recall that actually having any ability to attack anybody. Even when Lelouch was there and Lucian's resurrection, there was like the spears of the dead. But what the heck is this? I've been wondering the longest time. What are they even fighting? It's really bizarre. I hope they explain that too. As far as I know, I have no idea what this is. Uh, it's cool. I mean, it's villains to fight, but what is this? All right, let's read some comments and then we'll continue on. Raf15, how are you doing? Hey man, thanks for showing by. The new animation was perfect. It was, Ryan. How is the MC's name spelled? Don't tell me it's just L. It's Al. Oh, did I say it wrong? It's Al. A-L. Like Al from like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Edward's brother. It's Al. Not L. Al. Okay. Is the L name a Death Note reference? Probably not. I hope not, because Oba could sue them. Yeah, I don't think it is. Do you think Code Geass S3 will come in the future? Yes, it will, because Z recaptures has been announced, and we'll get that at the end. By the way, we'll get that at the end. Okay. Code Geass LL. I have full gameplay for the PlayStation 2. Is that is the gameplay you're talking about? Is that what's it called? Is that Lost Colors? I think it's Lost Colors. And the trailer seems to be a commander for them. Well, if you notice, and we'll get to this later when we get to the gameplay, but it seems like each character has like a chess piece that symbolizes their role on the battlefield. So it looks like Lelouch is a king, and so is Al. So I guess they're both commanders. That's an interesting statement. I thought what Lelouch did to C's role was temporary, that he basically saved C's role from being altered or killed by Charles. So I guess if that was the case, then this shouldn't have happened then. So there was some other kind of catalyst that caused this problem. Again, we have no idea what it is. That's a good point. I want Code Geass new series with the main characters Lelouch and C2. I don't think that's going to happen. Also, how can Colin move because her Gurren is there? I don't know. I'm really confused. Will Lelouch have a big role in the game, or is he just there for fan service? Lelouch's role in this game is going to be the same as everyone else's, in my opinion. It's just going to be a character you can play as. You can level him up. You can use him in battles. He might have some cutscenes here and there. But I imagine, like everyone else, it's not going to be like anything special with him. It should be, considering I think it's his fault all this happened in the first place. But that's just, one man's theory on that. This game must be set in an alternate timeline where the Ragnarok was a success. This way there's no contradiction with Charles and Lelouch's phone confrontation. Yeah, but wasn't Lelouch, but the evil emperor... I don't think so, because in the... hold on. It doesn't make any sense. And why does it say here, in the very beginning, peace came to the world with the Zero Requiem? The zero rec room only occurred because the Ragnarok connection, excuse me, the Ragnarok connection didn't happen. So I don't think that's the case. That would make more sense, but that's not what happened. At least that's what they're saying here. The massive seas world corrupted by the moon. Is that what that is? Okay, it seems kind of contrived to me, but hey, it's better than what I've heard. Maybe the end moon, maybe the end moon could create these creatures. Sure, but what's the precedence for it? Where would it come from? Like, what's the power of the moon? Who's in the moon? You know, there's a lot of like. I like a little more details, considering they had time to make this. I wonder who gave Al his Geass to control time. Oh, it was Gigi. Gigi gave it to him. She said it says in the synopsis it was a gift. I'm sorry, a wish, and we know Geass is a wish, so that's what that means. Although with Gigi though, since now I'm thinking about it, let me just zoom out here. We never see where she's an immortal apparently, right? But we don't see where the code is. Like when she does like the whole thing where she's flying out and you see her, you don't see it on her head, you don't see it on her arm. She's covered head to toe in her outfit, which leaves almost nothing to the imagination. But be that as it may, we don't see any codes on her, so I'm not sure where her power comes from. But Gigi gave her the Geass ability. It gave him the Geass ability. I hope Lelouch and T2 are a couple in this game. They sure look like it from here, but I got some bad news on that. This is just from observation. We'll get to it later, but I really doubt that these characters these characters in this story, they're going to be how do I put this? I don't want that show there. Give me a second here. The characters in the story, they're not going to have any major storylines continuing on here, because what's happening is that it seems like the characters were plopped out of their timeline and thrown into this game, meaning that anything that happened during hasn't occurred yet. And I have some proof for this, because when we look at the trailers, there's some indication that certain characters haven't gone through certain parts yet. Like, I mean, here's an easy example, right? Shirley isn't dead. Or, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because there's the resurrection timeline, but she's not dead. There's another example where Renya hasn't, well, you'll see he's wearing a certain outfit, which indicates that something hasn't happened yet. So the way I see this is that these characters, as you see them, they've been plopped out of their timelines to help out, but whatever was going on in their timelines hasn't been resolved yet. So I don't think C2 and Lelouch are a couple, unless this is the resurrection and the resurrection version of C2 and Lelouch. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think they put that much time into it. I was thinking they could have, what's it called? Other relationships like Valletta and Ogi, and maybe they could have like dual attacks or something. But I'm probably putting more thought into it than they did. Okay. Continuing on here. Let's see. Now I'm confused. Sunrise, stop messing with my brain, please. Maybe Charles is in the moon? Yeah, maybe. Surprised they didn't put some Z of the recapture stuff in it. Surprised? Are you serious? I'm not surprised. Is there going to be an English dub for this game? I doubt it. I don't think even Bleach Brave Souls has a dub. So I really doubt there's not going to be a dub for this. We'll be lucky if we get an international release, let alone a dubbing. So, but yeah, that's the story. Okay, let's move on. Unless there's any other response. Okay, we're good. All right, let's start with the main menu of this game. The main menu. So in their thing here, we're gonna get to it real quick. I have timestamps, so why am I doing this? Give me a second. I wrote the timestamps down, so I should get to it. Give me a second here. Nope. 38. Okay. All right. So this is the next thing one thing I want to talk about. It's really brief, but so basically this is what the main menu looks like. Actually, let's just get to it. Did I just skip it? Oh my god. Freaking goon here. No, I didn't. Okay. They're talking. Okay, here's the main menu. So you see the different characters and different characters here. Now, what's cool is you could hit a button, which is I think this is the training mode. I was reading an article about this. I'll get to that in a second. But you hit this button here, and it shows like an alternate version of the character. They're going to do it. Just give it a second. Hit the button, man. He's going to do it. Yeah, you get this alternate version. I'm not sure it's because of training mode. I was a little confused on that, but that's kind of what that looks like here. And then if you can switch different characters, so see you go to Gigi, hit hers. That's her alternative one, which is just wonderful. And again, no code by the way anywhere on here. Man, they really yeah. Anyway, so then they did Shirley's. Now Shirley's, I was gonna say, I hated this. They were like, they were. Oh, it's so cute. I don't know. I thought it was really stupid. They basically took that one outfit from that filler episode and put her on there. So I guess it was okay. To me, well, I wasn't a big fan of this. It's a fun feature, according to this article that I read, which I'll pull up right now. Here, they said, let's see. And I'll have links at the end if you guys are curious to all this stuff that I was reading. During the game, performers actually play and talk about the gear charm. The characters after liberation have been carried out by advancing the training. It's a glimpse tool, I guess, and you get like a pair of successive characters, so you can go through all of them pretty much. And they do that, by the way. If you go to their if you go to here, you can actually. So if he hits the arrow, if you actually see you got detard. Okay, now here's another thing I want to bring up. I don't know who this guy is. I think he's a new character, but I just don't know. I have no this guy is from Oz the Reflection. I have no idea where this guy is from. I think he's from one of the new story modes and observation, but I have literally no idea where this guy came from. He's cool looking. He's very relaxed, but I have no idea who this is. He looks like someone I've seen maybe in our game. Oh, by the way, that is Futaba, which is Kaguya's great grandmother, I think. That's Toto from Oz Reflection. That's Ogi, and they kind of bailed. Oh, by the way, this is like another observation I had about this game. So you see that there's there's a sword, a chain, and a gun. If you notice that, I don't want to do that because it's going to take that out. He has the sword and the gun, and she has the chain. So my assumption is that I think that they're all connected, and maybe if he breaks does he want, he'll break the chain and free Gigi. I have no idea though, just a theory. Okay, and this is like how the main game works. You go through different areas, you select something, and then a battle starts. This is with the story that we're going through it, and so you're talking to the collective conscious here rather. And then when he gets there, they skip through it. Gigi's talking to Al in a very interesting way, and then you get to where is it? So you meet Alder in here, and then Renya shows up, and there's like these dark things. I have no idea where they are or what the context is here. They didn't really explain any of it, but this is part of the story that we got a chance to see. I will say that just in general, I like the fact that we see Renya animated and colored. It's really cool. It's why I'm really excited about this game. You get to see Renya colored. So that's it. They don't show you the story, of course not. Why would they? Back to the main menu here. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is we're actually going to Okay, here we go. Let's talk about observation mode. That's the next thing I wanted to discuss. So we're done with the main thing. Let's go to observation mode. This allows you to basically play any of the previous stories in Code Geass. Now, what kind of disturbs me, not in a bad way, just as a thought, when they go to this mode, I want to go back really quickly here. Yeah, look at this. So when I go to it, 2 seconds for it to load. I wanted to skip through it. All right. So I pause this menu. You know what you see here? You see this new thing called Crimson the Blood Pack. You see R1, Akito is not there. R2 is not there. That looks like Oz the Reflection. Basically, only 2 story modes are unlocked right now in observation mode. I'm going to guess, and I could be wrong, but when the game comes out, these will not be ready, which is disappointing. But that seems to be the case here. They will not be a ready thing for you guys to play, as if it matters. The other thing, too, is interesting is that they show this Crimson the Blood Pack and they were talking about it a lot. But there was also other ones too. Like just there's like there's a bunch of them, which we'll get to. I guess we can go over it again later. But if you right here, right, you have. So you have Crimson and the Blood Pack. You have Arthur of the Misty Streets. You have Toshizo, the Unanswering, and Zio of the End. I'm going to assume these are all observation stories we're getting later on. That's my assumption there. Okay, so he chose to play the Lucha of the Rebellion. Now, one thing I didn't like about this is that let's get to it. So there's like a thing here you can go through. It looks like a battle, and then there's like a chapter, I believe. So he picks the first chapter. He plays it out. I guess you get charged when you win this. So she's playing it, I believe. These are a battle. These masks, I believe, are battles you can do, and these are story elements. That'd be my assumption. Then again, I haven't played the game yet, but I assume that's what they're talking about there. So, like most games that are anime related, you get like this typical animations of how the game. Like I played enough DBZ games, I played enough other Naruto. It's pretty common to recap the whole story. Basically, the modes are you can play the story mode of the regular game, which is Gigi and Al getting the shards, or you can observe other characters' story through the observation mode. They don't go further beyond this, which is disappointing because I wanted to see what the combat was going to be here. See, they don't go beyond that, and it's disappointing because I'm curious. Are they going to have a situation where the main character is going to fight against these Geass monsters, which makes no sense in context of the story? I figure if you're playing the story, then what you're going to see is like you're going to go through like the main. I guess like you'll explore the area as Lelouch and you'll fight some people, but the mass icons in that. Let's go back real quick. Here. Da-da-da. Right, yeah. These indicate like this could be like a battle against the Geass creatures, but the question I have is, wouldn't he be like playing the normal story? Like my thought would be they'll just go through the normal story. Like when I was playing Bleach Brave Souls a couple months ago, and when I played it, when you played the first level of Ichigo, you're just battling hollows like you would because of story mode. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work or if it will work. It looks great, and I'm legitimately looking forward to Oz of Reflection and Renya of Darkness. Renya because it's going to be colored, and Oz of Reflection because I know the basic story, but it's never animated or translated. So if we finally get that as a thing you can go through, I'll be very grateful. So I'm very hopeful about that part. At this point, though, it looks like there's only two options available, which is to be expected, I'm afraid. So that's the major thing about observation mode. It looks cool. It doesn't look like it's fleshed out well enough yet, but we'll see. So that's kind of like what I had there on some notes on that. Let me just take a look, quick thing through my stuff before we continue on here too. I like OneNote, but sometimes it's a little hard to use. Okay, let's see. I believe that's everything with observation mode. Yeah, I think that's everything on observation mode. You basically get to go through all the different stories. And apparently there's going to be more coming along the way. So that's it, observation mode. I'll read a couple of comments and we will continue. The website confirms it. That is going to be an English dub for the game. Okay, that'd be great. Shirley's top. What can she do in the game? Shirley's using combat. Why is she here? Oh my god! In the combat, she was throwing a book bag at the enemy. It was really embarrassing to watch. I was like, what? Okay. I'm glad that Shirley gets to live, even if it's not official in the show. Zeta recapture. We'll get to it. Patience. We'll get to it. Shirley might be there for the swimsuit fan service. She could be any bad guy in a swimming competition. Yeah, what was the Crimson Pack, Zero, and Arthur stories? Clovis? So the Crimson Pack, Zero, and Arthur stories are probably just additional stories like the Crimson Blood Pack. In the ending trailer, I think I have the image here. Is it this? Yeah. So you see this here. This is, by the way, what's probably going to be all these games. You're just going to go through cutscenes. Characters are going to talk, and they're going to move on. You'll fight some guys. Rinse and repeat. Oh, a side note: we still don't know anything about this character. They haven't talked much about who this person is. What's her role in all of this? Is she the one trapped in the moon? We don't know. They haven't discussed her. Side note about that. Now, the other thing about these other stories, since we're on the topic, if you look at the outfits they're wearing and the names, like this is probably England, maybe 1900s. Oopsies, wrong way. Oh, that was the right way. No, wrong way. Okay, this is, I believe, ancient Japan, and this looks like something in the future. So different time periods, different characters. It makes sense with the names. Zeo of the End, Lucia, Lucia Rebellion, right? It makes sense, but they're going to be a bunch of stories in the observation mode. So when you go to there's an image I have here from my so I'm going to show you guys. It's really cool. So this one here, see this? It has all the Code Geass stories at this point. So you see R1, R2, Renya, Akito, Oz, Resurrection, Genesis Re Code, and Blood Pack so far. Which means they're going to have also Arthur. Was it Arthur? That's not what it's called. I've looked at like 5 times. I already forgot, so I'll remember what it is. Is it? Yeah, not this guy. Arthur of the Misty Streets, Tetsuro the Unanswering, and Ozio of the End. I assume they will be there as well. Okay, let's continue on here. Where's Akito? I don't know. Yeah, I wish I got here on time because I never know what's going on with these new stuff. I'm always too lazy to keep up. It's extremely difficult to, even from what I understand, it's difficult to keep up. It's complete chaos, honestly. Tetsuya looks like a demon slayer. Yeah, he kind of does, doesn't he? Her name is Archive, the librarian in the memory library. Her name is Archive, the librarian in the memory library. Okay, I'll have to look that up later. What the heck, the memory library? Where'd you find that? That's so frustrating. Where did you find that information? Let's see something real quick here. Genesis Re Code website. How did you find that? I literally went and translated everything. I still couldn't find it. Hopefully, it doesn't crash my system. Their website is beautiful, but my God, is it glitchy? Okay, let's go to the characters since because I was looking at all the stuff here. See, look how slow this loads. It's like one of this website's again. It's really nice, but man, very slow. Okay, all right. This isn't translated, so that's obviously not it. Uh, Story, training, battle. I don't know where you. We're not here yet in like the stream, but I don't know where you. Oh, actually, hold on. Since we're here, one minor note. I didn't know this before, but I figured this out. Check this out here. So this is C's World, right? And this is where everyone hangs out, I guess. And the reason why this is important because in every trailer of the game, you always see this. Where is it? It's like you always see it, but we're not saying, yeah, here. This. So I assume this image of all the characters together is all of them at C's World, which is right here. And it makes sense, too, because if you look at the images, you can see Toto's over here. I'm not sure who that is or who that is. It's hard to see it. But the point is, this is where they're all at. So they're in C's World the whole time, in case you were wondering. Okay. Her name is Archive on the wiki. You mean this wiki? Oh, you mean this wiki. Wiki? Let's see. Archive. Let's see. But there's no source to this, man. I could write Archive is the god of the new world. Like light. Where's the source of this, though? At least here, this has been confirmed. This has been confirmed. I don't see Archive listed anywhere in this game. Or, if I was to type in, where would it be listed here? On a character, story, training, code links, which is like a way you can find the characters, I guess. They connect in some way, like the world. Let's see. Maybe this is it. Let's translate this real quick. Man, Google Translate. Where would it be without you? Yeah, it says nothing to take. To take revenge over time, space, and time. Space, time, and time. To take revenge? Isn't it to stop it? Well, anyways, like it doesn't say anything about archive. I mean, it's cool that they mention that, but it's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't like. I don't know where that says here, or where it says that. By the way, they have a nice little. If you're interested, they have this little terminology of all the stuff in Code Geass. If you're like ever wondering what is what, it's interesting enough. It says here, it can give the power of Geass to a well-educated human being. No, this is wrong. It's not well-educated. It's a what's it called? A a qualified one, because Renya is not educated and he still could get a Geass power because he was a qualified one. Being a qualified one doesn't mean you're really smart. So I think this is either an error in the people who wrote this, or they didn't read Renya of Darkness, or Google Translate sucks. I don't know. Just thought you guys should know. Like that contradicts the lore. So I assume that's a typo. Now, interesting here, it says the Geass is the key to paranormality, the engraving of the change, the front and the back of humans' wishes and curses. Which, they do explain that, but it's kind of confusing. I was like, wait, what? Uh, the chains part makes sense because you make a contract with someone. I'm not sure the wishes and curses. I guess it can be one or the other. Anywho, I don't know about that whole dress thing. That I mean, the whole dress thing. If she's like the what's it called, the librarian of the memorial library. I don't even know what that means. That's like three things. I have no idea what that is. Oh my god, her dress is cute. Oh, we're talking about archive. I got so many tabs. Let me close this up. I'm probably slowing the stream down. Let's close these out real quick. Okay, close this out. We're done with that one. Which is archive. Yeah, we don't know much about her. We'll probably learn more as the game comes out and we split the story and stuff. Okay. All right. I guess we're done. With that. Let's move on to the next topic, which is something that I'm a little mixed on, and that is the battle mode. Now, this is there's two battle modes in this game. There is the basic one, which is called. Hold on. Is it in this one? There's like two battle modes. If it's not in this one, I have like another thing that translates it to. Abyss, right? And there's another one called Story Battle. Story Battle is the one that you saw in the beginning. That is. Let's see. Yeah, this is Story Battle. So you go through the journey of collecting all the Geass shards, and during this you fight different characters. Now here's the thing: you pick different characters. You get up to 5. They all level up, and each one has like a specific symbol of a chess piece. So he's a king, for example. She's a queen. Each character has a different piece: a rook, a knight. Something odd here. I'm going to point out. Okay, did anyone else notice this? There's 0 and then there's Lelouch. Is that a typo? Is that a mistake? Are there two characters? I've been wondering the longest time. What is that? Is that an alternative costume? Can you unlock alternative costumes of characters? They don't really explain this. Just wondering. I also assume these characters here are from like one of the new universes or one of the new time stories we haven't played yet in observation mode. But I'm wondering why there's two Lelouches here. There's a 0 and then there's an actual Lelouch. I don't know what the context is behind that. Oh, hold on, I got to change my thing. Okay, now we're in Story Battle. So you can pick a character you want, and they go there. Now they don't answer this question, but I'm just speculating with you guys. I think you have to do you get these characters like as soon as you play the game, or do you have to unlock them through observation mode or something? I'm not sure how that works. Because if that was the case, then you couldn't play anyone because the observation modes aren't ready yet. So my assumption would be you get these characters as soon as you play the game. And they said, by the way, sorry about the raise my voice here. They said, by the way, that there's going to be 1 million characters in this game. Did you guys? I think it's right here. No, not that. Um, there's going to be a store of a large volume exceeding 1 million characters. That has to be a mistake. 1 million characters? That's crazy. I can't. I'm not sure what that means. I wonder if that's a typo or not. But, anyways, anyways, so he picked some characters. They went through the whole listing there. Oddly enough, you can see the characters from the story observation modes that we haven't seen yet, but for some reason they're not ready in the game, or maybe they are, or they didn't show it. So they pick Shirley. They pick Bawagi has like 2 guns. It's kind of cool. She's dual wielding. Sayako, and then I think they pick Nunnally. And Nunnally is a rook. So different characters have different roles in the combat. I think a rook is like a healer or a defender, because obviously Shirley has Nunnally can't fight in combat. Although they put, I don't know if you noticed that they put Cecile also as a rook, but Cecile can pilot a Knightmare frame. She's also trained probably in combat since she's an officer in the Britannian military. So I assume she's not that worthless. They're gonna pick Nunnally in a second. Oh, whoopsies. I don't want the sound going. Nunnally. Okay. So they're going to go into combat here. They're going to fight some character. I guess you get some items here you can use. So they go into it, and this is where, on some level, I think this game looks great, but on some level, I was kind of disappointed. Okay. The chibi thing, I can do without it, honestly. It kind of looks silly. I know that this is supposed to be a fun game, right? Maybe to get more people into Code Geass, but I'm watching this combat, and again, I'm kind of probably being a little annoying here. This was not really that interesting. It was kind of fast paced. I couldn't really follow it so well. The characters are just flailing away at random stuff, and they're shooting enemies, and they're just dying. There's no real satisfaction anywhere in this. I hope the combat is not like this, and this is just like a special version made for people who like an auto play or something, because this was extremely underwhelming. They're fighting some enemies, and they're just engaging in like it. Like she's firing down, and it's somehow hitting the enemy. Shirley is she's throwing a bag at people. Is this supposed to like? It's also like the violence in this is very toned down. There's no blood, no. It's it's kind of weak, to be honest with you. I'm hoping that they maybe it will be different in certain modes, but at this point the combat is just like kind of weird. Not weird. It's not very interesting. Oh, another point to make out since we're watching the gameplay and observations. Someone's asking about if when this takes place after a certain event or not. If you notice, Nully's eyes are closed, which means this again doesn't take place before. She was plopped out of her timeline and put into here because if it was right after Zero Requiem, she always would have her eyes open. More proof that this game takes place like before any of that stuff happened. They're all just plopped down into their timeline. But again, you're watching this combat and I can't follow any of it. And how is Shirley hurting anyone with a backpack or a knapsack? And doesn't Shirley know how to use a gun? Did she shoot Valletta? So why would she have a gun? I'm lost. Okay, here she's firing. That's good. At least she's firing here, and he's directly attacking them, I guess. It's like some kind of special there, or something like that. It's and it doesn't look like it's turn-based either. It looks like it's a free-for-all. Like characters just attack each other, and whoever like has the strongest stats win or something. So I'm kind of lost as to like how this is even supposed to work to begin with. it's there's like power ups and there's like this Geass thing where you can use her special abilities like that, and she has one too. She's serving drinks. Okay, they made Shirley like really like so. The basic problem I have with this is that it looks okay, but I'm wondering as I level up these characters, like there's no I like turn-based strategy games where you can get each individual time with the character you develop. That way, when they do something cool, you can kind of follow it on screen. The problem with this combat system is that I can't really appreciate anyone individually because everyone is flying at the same time. It'd be much better if each character could do a command, or you could issue a command to different characters, and they could attack individually as opposed to all at once. I don't like the chibi. I think it looks kind of silly. It kind of undermines this the seriousness of the situation, which is the roll has stopped moving and we have to kill these things to get it going again. But maybe I'm just looking at it from a negative point of view. From animation wise, it looks great, but I'm just kind of confused as to it's hard to follow what's going on here. And more importantly, I would have liked it if it was turn based. That's like my only complaints here. Like I think like one of my favorite games of all time when it comes to RPG turn based strategy games, like just more recently, like Digimon Cyber Sleuth is a really great game, and it gave you like enough time with each character because they each do their the Digimon fight individually, um, and there's not like any serious violence in that game. Like you'll attack someone, they'll disappear. But I still felt like the weight of a power attack. Like when you use guys, I'm not sure you guys are familiar with Digimon, but like if you use I don't know, like War Greymon, he fires the Terra Terra Force. Like it actually like it's pretty powerful, and you feel the weight of it. I know someone was saying it's a mobile game. That's true. It is a mobile game, but I don't know. Maybe on my phone it will look good or my tablet. Maybe just I can forget this is a mobile game. That's true. I guess we'll have to go with that. But in general, when you play an RPG and you develop a character and you get the next level, the satisfaction in seeing them use an ability they just learned. And if the combat looks like this, my confusion or my worry is that are you really going to appreciate getting the character level 80, 100, or whatever? Or you gave them this item versus that item. It's very it's hard to follow all of this. That's the big problem I have with this mode. It's cool that you get to use different characters. Like I would love to use Lelouch, like Lelouch, Akito, Renya together. That'd be kind of cool, But I just it was hard to follow this combat. Maybe you get used to it over time, but I'm watching this and I don't know what the hell is going on. It's just all over the place. And Abysmo was worse. I didn't know that I was watching that gameplay and I was lost. I know what the purpose of the gameplay is, but I don't know what was going on with that. It was just completely lost with that gameplay. Get some items there in case you can't tell. And so they go through different ones, and it's just see more enemies are fighting. It's just they do it again. Some more specials. I believe they had Lelouch appear in another one. Let's see. Yeah, here you use Lelouch as a Geass ability to help you out. We'll get to this later. Okay. So that's kind of my thoughts on the battle mode. I think it's fine, like acceptable, but I it's just hard for me to follow what's happening. The chibi stuff, I'll get used to it, I guess. But the character fighting, like it's like it doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't even seem like they have special abilities either. It just seems like they're all using the same attack, and if they're a higher level, they just do more damage. In this guy's expression. Okay, let's read the comment. I'm sure you guys have like thoughts on what I'm saying here. Can you get this game on Apple? You can get it on Android and Apple, assuming it ever gets released internationally. Should be clean. Sorry, that's just my take. I love Lloyd, but what could he do? Throw pudding at his opponents? Lloyd could create a flail warhead. No, wait, no, he couldn't. He could make a weapon for a Knightmare frame to use. He's probably a rook. Was he a rook? Let's see. Let's back off for a second here. Actually, no, I think they. Hold on. Did they do it again, or am I like? No, no, never mind. That's something else. Okay. If he's a rook, he's probably wait, is Cornelia a rook? Wow. Yeah, he's a rook. So he's a defensive character like Nunnally. He's not there to attack. He's there to defend. Why is Cornelia a rook? Cornelia's one of the most eh, one of the better fighters in what? Wow. And Futaba too. Futaba is an excellent fighter in Renya of Darkness. Why would you put those man? What's the logic there? Mao, huh? What can Mao do? He can read their minds. Sure, is he going to tell them what they're going to do? God, some of the animations and fighting in this game are going to be so silly to watch because these characters don't fight normally in normal combat because Code Geass is a mecha. So you normally don't see average characters fighting like this. It's not that kind of show. So it's if this was the manga where they didn't have Knightmare frames and only had like swords, this would make sense. I guess that's another point to bring up. The combat here doesn't make sense in Code Geass because the characters don't fight normally hand-to-hand combat. They fight in Knightmare frames or large tactical battles with like troops and tanks and Knightmare frames and float systems and things like that. You don't see this type of combat in Code Geass unless, of course, again, Reign of Darkness or you have the manga where they didn't have Knightmare frames. There are times where you see hand-to-hand combat, like when Psycho fights Jeremiah, right? But generally speaking, the combat here seems out of place. Let's continue on here. Lelouch, the King, Ling, Akito, Renya, Orpheus, Ulmer is awesome. The protagonist team seems epic. Yes, I'd like to play that. That'd be cool. The battle mode better be good. Surely, why? There's an auto button there on the right of the combat screen, but I wouldn't get my hopes up with the combat in the game being meaningful or fun. Yeah, and something else too, since you brought that up about meaningful or fun, the characters have certain levels, if you notice. See, level 80, level whatever it is, 90, etc. Is this going to be a grind fest where I'm going to have to play hours upon hours to level the characters up, get certain items, specials? I'm a little nervous about that. Digimon Cyber Sleuth was also a serious grind game, but at least in that, the combat was fun, so I didn't care. But the combat here is not as interesting. So I'm hoping it's not a huge grind fest. I don't like grind fest in RPGs, especially when the combat isn't very satisfactory. Like I don't mind like if it's like Golden Sun or I don't know, you pick any Nitro Republic, by the way, which they're getting the remake masters coming out soon. I'm sorry, it wasn't coming out soon. It was announced. We know when it's coming out. But I don't mind grinding in RPGs, but the combat has to be worth it. If I have to play through this 100 times, I don't know. It's gonna be iffy. Is this game only mobile? As far as I know. Whoa! Just reminded me. Are there no Knightmare fights? See, I don't know. I don't think so. Well, there's the Abyss mode, but again, it was kind of shabby. It wasn't well done, I should say, and we'll get to that in a second. But I don't think so, and that's kind of disappointing because when you look at the trailer, which we'll get to after Abyss mode, but when you look at the trailer, not this one here, the Lancelot is literally fighting these creatures. So is there Nightmare Frame battle? And then if you go to the other one, at the very end, I'm not sure if they cut it out or not. Yeah, here they have like this random footage, new footage of the flight-enabled Gurren fighting against a Lancelot conquistador. It's really strange animation. Is this gonna be in the game? I have no idea. Are we gonna get a lot of false advertisements? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, it's a good question though. No Superman trap, no cannon. That's right. I was supposed to say the Ragnarok. That's not what it's called. It's called the Raiko. Yeah, no Raiko in this game. Sorry. What does detail attack run like a maniac, like in poor Yokosuka? He can shoot a gun. He almost fired at Lelouch. You remember when he? Here, I'll just show you guys. Fudge it. I'll go to new tab. Let me show you guys real quick. He can shoot a gun right here. Let's go to the very end. Right, he kiosked him, and then yeah, see Detard. See, he can shoot people. Of course, this is kind of close range, but he can shoot people. So Detard can defend himself in combat. This is the wrong one. This is the wrong one. Okay. In the trailer, it shows Knightmare frames. Yeah, it does. And we're going to get to that actually right now, unless I got anything else I wanted to say about it. Um, nope, let's get into Abyss mode. All right, so here's Abyss mode. Let's just go through all this. I think I have the timestamp. It's like 55. So here's Abyss mode. Now here's the cool part. They showed you the different areas of Abyss mode, so let's get to that real quick. This is the other part where you can actually have combat. Now, I don't know if you have combat in the observation mode. I assume you do. So here's again the areas. We have the Tokyo settlement, Castle Weisenwolf, the Forgotten Village, I believe. This might be from not Renya, Oz the Reflection. I guess this is from one of the news stories, maybe. I have no idea. They don't tell you either, which is great. All right, so they go to the main area here, this in between, and they basically make a stage. I don't know what this means. I guess maybe you can buy different stages to play in. So maybe there's like a base one, and as you play the game, you get more currency. And this concerns me because are they going to have? Are you going to be able to pay actual money to get their in-game currency, or do you have to grind for hours to get all the I guess what their currency is called, diamonds or coins, whatever it is, to pay for these stages? It's a little disconcerting because these are kind of expensive. So they're going to pick the free stage, obviously, and they're going to pick it, and here you go. Now, when they play this, you pick some characters, I believe. There's certain teams here, it looks like. So again, you can pick 5 characters to play with. Okay, Valletta, Ogi, which makes sense, and then Lelouch. They pick Lelouch at the end, which is kind of cool. There's Lelouch. Now again, who is this? I don't know who this is, but there you go. All right, now they're going to start the game. 3, 2, and the 1. Okay, come on, get. Okay, so I'm going to be frank here. I have no clue what's going on here at all. They're moving up spaces, right, to fight Knightmare frames. I don't know how they're controlling this. I'm not sure how many spots you can move in one time. This is supposed to be some kind of tactical strategy mode. But there's no indication how many spots you are from somebody on here, unless that's what this number indicates. They're all moving up each turn, and then they're in some kind of conflict. Okay, so there's a fighting here going on. There's some damage, but it's very it's kind of spar. I can't follow any of it. And then also there's enemies. There's like these are the Geass creatures from the moon, I guess, and the people. And that's Tamaki, I think. They're going back and forth under everybody. It's a mess. I can't follow any of this. It's not intuitive at all. There's no locations you're trying to travel to. Everyone's just going to go in one area, and they're fighting. And I'm lost. I've watched it several times, and I don't understand. Are they going near him? It's really, and then they zoomed into like another thing where you see Glasskulls fighting against again the Geass creatures. It's like a bunch of these little versions of Al running along. There's Lelouch. There's Jeremiah. I don't even see Ogi. Oh, he's in Jeremiah's group. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe the characters do something to other characters in battle. Like they're attacking. I guess it's really whatever's going on here. It's not inherently obvious. They were trying to blow it up. I'm not sure if it was the Glasskulls that killed it or was it the characters. It's extremely confusing. But the point of this, as far as I understand this mode, is you get to you move characters around the battlefield and you fight different enemies. It looks like you can fight Knightmare frames from like Britannia, I assume probably the EU as well. And you can also fight against the Geass creatures. but I don't know how any of that worked. It was extremely confusing. If you go to the articles I was reading about this, what they said made like it didn't answer any of my questions. I think it was here. If you type in abyss, let's see. So in the simulation mode, abyss specialization in strategic battles. You can play a strategic battle where you become a commander and give instructions. Okay, but what instructions am I giving exactly? It's and to what point? Let me give you an example. In case you're wondering like why I'm confused, let me give you an example of a game that did this perfectly like a long time ago. You may have heard of it. It was pretty popular back in the day. It was called Advance Wars. It's one of like my favorite games of all time. Okay, and how Wars worked, it was pretty basic. You just had a. Uh, I was hoping. I was hoping it would show just a. I wanted to show you guys a simple battlefield. I didn't want to. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so you see there's a battlefield. You move different units around. They get into combat with someone else, and then you see like this. And that was each confrontation you had. This is very simple, easy to follow. I know what's going on. I know where my units are. I know how many space I am from everyone else. From everyone else, I can see my objectives. Everything here makes sense. And the problem I have with this mode here is that I keep doing that. It's really irritating. This mode here is I can't follow any of this. I don't know who's going where or what's going on. It's extremely confusing to me. I am hoping that the other stages, because remember this part here, let's go back real quick. I'm hoping that the other stage you can play on, like what is this, the Forgotten Village, the Tokyo Settlement, whatever. I hope in those stages, when you actually play, you'll see like more tangible spots on the floor, and you can figure out, where the heck are you and where are you going? Because this makes absolutely no sense to me. There's a training mode, and I'm going to be playing it a lot until I figure this out because it's not inherently obvious to me. And I know it's a mobile game, but I bring up Advance Wars as an example because Advance Wars came out on the Game Boy Advance, and then I think the second one also came on the Game Boy Advance. And the graphics are, as you see at the time, they were kind of eh. So you can make a simple game that's easy to follow where you're going. You don't have to complicate stuff. I think this is from the original Game Boy Advance here. So, like, I can tell you me what's going on here without even playing the game. It's very intuitive. This is kind of messy. Well, whatever, it is what it is. It still looks cool though, and look, if you can fight Nightmare frames against Nightmare frames, I'll be happy to see it. But one thing I didn't like about that gameplay there is that even when the combat is going on, right, character like we see the Nightmare frames being attacked and stuff, you don't really see satisfactory combat. Like in Advanced Wars, I keep going back to it, but I think it's worth revisiting here. You'll literally see that the enemies fire at each other, and you'll see the result of it. So there actually seems like there's combat going on between the units. When you're watching, this, I can't tell what the heck's going on. And yeah, they're like damaging the Sutherlands and the Gloucesters. These are their health meters right here, but it's really confusing. Uh, I like how she's so confused because honestly, I am too. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I think it has potential to be a good feature, but I would have preferred a simple map. And you tell your units to go to different places, and they get into a confrontation. You see the confrontation, and then you move on to somewhere else. They're doing like 5 different things at once here. They're trying to show the confrontation while also moving on the battlefield at the same time. And sometimes having the same screen for every single thing doesn't really work. I know I'm complaining a lot about this trailer, about the game. I am excited for it. Okay, I'm just saying that. It's just, I couldn't if I can't just smile at the camera and say, "Guy, this game is great," and I have no problems with it whatsoever because that just wouldn't. It's not me. I can't say that because it's not true. I don't think it is. It's extremely confusing, and there's There's no reason for it to be confusing. By the way, I assume that this part here, this probably translates to archive and the memory library. I assume that's where it came from. Okay. Any comments before we move on? Because we're now going to get into the next fun part, which is the trailers. For everyone who stood to the end, you're getting rewarded here. Maltac seems like walking with a limp. 2-0, Zalush and Suzaku. Nani? Probably is. Because I don't know. I'm not sure who the. I know who the characters are. Really confusing stuff. Okay, I'll look at my notes real quick, and then we'll move on to. Um, we will move on to the next part. So let's see here. As I know, with the training system, yeah, characters grow up. I should hope so. Characters level up by battling, obviously, in the training in the battle system. So here's what it says, by the way, about the battle system in general. You can join RPG specification, story, battle, and a simulation called Abyss, where you fight while advancing the story. Choose your favorite character and face the battle. In the RPG specific story battles, where you fight while advancing the story, the characters become chibis and you fight the enemy, which we discussed. Skills, special moves, Geass can be used in battle. In the simulation mode, Abyss, which specializes in strategic battles, a battle that makes full of strategies and tactics unique to Code Geass series will be unfolded. Become a commander and direct the Knightmare frames and characters to complete missions given in each battle. So there's missions going on here. So basically, what's happening is there's things you have to do during this mode, which again is fine. Okay, I'm not like upset that you have to do this stuff, but last point is I'll move on to the trailers or the new thing they showed us. I would have preferred if it was done on different screens. I think if a Game Boy Advance game could have accomplished this with the limited technology back then, I think somehow in 2021 we can make a very easy to follow map where you can command units to do different things, to get certain to complete certain objectives. But yeah, it is what it is. The new image of the game is my new background screen. You know what? It's mine, but also am I not moving? Oh, my camera died. Okay, I got you my camera. I'll be right back. I gotta change it. Give me a second here. Uh, okay. Why is it looking like that? It's weird. Okay, share screen. Not sure why my camera looks bizarre, but okay. Uh, Let's get rid of this. I don't know what's going on with my. 1 second. Why am I taking the full screen? Um, my camera's doing some weird stuff. Huh. What is going on here? It should take the full screen. Like it's. It looks like I zoomed out for some reason. I didn't zoom out my camera. What the frick? Okay, it's weird. I have. Oh, let me stop the camera and start it again. That is weird. Well, whatever. This is what happens when. This is what happens when you use StreamYard. You don't know what the heck you're doing. Like, why did it shrink my? That is bizarre. I don't know. We'll go to the main screen, I guess. We'll just show this until I figure out what's going on with my freaking camera. I mean, I could do some settings while we're watching. All right, since you guys stayed here, we're now going to go through the trailers. Or not trailers, the animations. Any comments before I do that? Nope. Okay, good. Let's do it. We're going to start with, is this the opening animation? Yeah. No, this is the ending one. Let's do the opening first. Opening will go first. This is not it. I keep clicking into this. It's not it. Okay, I thought I had it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, someone brought up. So you said about like that was your new background. Well, in my case, it's also. Actually, I didn't have to do that. That was stupid. Um, not only is it my background, but if you notice, I enhanced it so now I made all the characters stand out more. I was really bored. Okay, anyways, let's go to the. All right, we're gonna start with the. Not this one. I keep doing this. I promise. I'm doing it on purpose. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I swear. Okay. All right. Here is. We're gonna go through first the trailer of the Abyss. Or not the Abyss. Wait. Hold on. Stop that. Where are my banners? Where are my banners? Okay. Opening animation. We're gonna go through everything that happened in this. So here we go. All right. So first, okay. So here's what I'm talking about before, right? Red Geass power, not yellow or blue. Still confused as to why that's the case, but it is the case, and so that's the situation with that part of the trailer. I'm still messing with this camera. I don't know what the heck's wrong with it. Uh, Darn it! See, it still looks bad. All right, whatever. You guys know I'm here. Okay, I'm not hiding on it or anything. Just a stupid crap. Okay, I'll have to figure out later what's going on with that. All right, so here we go. We see the Gazari Code logo. All right, so the next thing we see Gigi. She's flying through like C2. She reaches out, but then something happens. Bam! It's a loud there, but like bam, something happens. What happened? Well, we don't know actually. That's the problem. We don't know what happened here. I think it has something to do with the has something to do with whatever's. It must be like maybe she's something evil or maybe it's the world that's connecting her because she has a chain. I think the chain has something to do with what's going on here. We never, of course, see what it's attached to, but so that's Gigi's part here. Okay, now we get to this part here where it shows Al as a little baby. I assume this is Al, although now that I think about it, no, it's him. The hair color is about the same. Okay, so she's holding him. She took care of him, obviously, as a kid, and then here they are together. She's putting her hair looks like a Christmas tree. I love the character, but let's be honest, her hair is a Christmas tree. So that's that there. Okay, we see him firing a gun. We don't know what the context is. Of course, she can take care of herself, so I'm not sure why he needs to use the gun. Remember watching the gameplay footage? She was dual wielding, so obviously she's not like she can defend herself if she has to. Just keep my face up here in case you're wondering where did I go. I'm right here. Okay. So that's that. All right. So now we meet this character, and which I think is the key man, and also the shards from where was going on with the I guess the moon, or wherever the seas roll that caused us to be in this position. So here we are. He battles the key man, I guess, whoever that is, and then the Geass shards break. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this part here is what happened in Lucha of the Resurrection 2, if I'm not mistaken. Let me can I close it out before, right? I know I'll be back to it. I think in the very beginning of that film, at the very beginning, there was a gem that like exploded or something, right? I'm like crazy here. It wasn't like a gem very early on in the film. You're seeing this, yeah, this, and then it explodes or something. So I'm guessing that this might be related to this because we both get shards at the end. So that's that. There's the moon that's apparently freezing all of time. That's what that's about. The whole world, I guess, is in black and white because time has stopped. So that's what's going on there. Now you see a combat of Al fighting these Geass creatures, which I guess were produced by the moon, which makes sense because the moon, after all, is right in the background and they're appearing from there. That makes sense. Now this is my favorite part of this trailer. Okay, so check this out. Renya in action for the first time ever. We have animation of it. It is really, really cool. Look how awesome it is. See the arm, it extends out. He's draining the life force, which actually makes no sense because are these things even living by our standards? But anyhow, don't ask questions. Just enjoy the moment. And then he's stabbing it with one of his signature daggers he likes to throw. And here's the interesting part about this. You may not have noticed, but if you zoom out, or if you not zoom out, if you slowly go through this, you see the stone is right here. This is important for a couple of reasons. Number one, if the stone is here, okay, better look at it. He kind of goes backwards too. No, we don't see it. Okay, never mind. If the stone is here, it's because he hasn't encountered Dash yet. To summarize Renya of Darkness' last component, Dash needs the stone to power a machine to wake up Atelia from her coma. So that stone is one of the two he needs. I think Renya's father had the first stone, and so he got the second one, which was actually from Claire, but she gave it to Renya. So if he has the stone, that storyline hasn't concluded yet. So this again proves the theory that all the characters that are battling are taken out of their timelines and thrown into this one by the power Al possesses. That would be my assumption. Now, the other thing of note here is that if that is the case, then would Renya still have his final ability where he can fire a massive beam, which he used to defeat Dash at the end of Renya of Darkness? My answer is probably no, but it's just a thought I had. Either way, it's really cool we're seeing that this we're seeing Renya in action here. So then we see Sayako killing one of her own. Again, just like Bleach, the masks are the keys to killing these creatures. So here we got the epic moment where Luch commands the Lancelot Albion and the Gurren Satan 8 elements. Notice that you don't see the Type 0 or the Sin. Lancelot Sin and Type 0, I believe, is what the next Gurren model was called. Again, where's the resurrection connection in this game? Cool moment here where you see the characters are. You don't realize how big the Lancelot is compared to everyone else. It's kind of cool here. All right, I'm gonna stop right here really quickly so you can see his characters. I'll even take my face out so you can really look at it. I'm even going to actually that's fine. Okay, so we see 4 Knightmare frames here. So the 4 Knightmare frames are the Vincent, the Gloucester, the Agrarian, and then I don't know the name of this one, but it's the same one Ashley drives. So here's what this indicates: the implications of this image here. Let me show you something real quick here. Okay. There's a character in Code Geass named Odion uh, Zephron. I can't pronounce his name. I'll just type in Alderaan Zephon. I spelled that wrong too because I suck. But yeah, her uncle is named Ogoros Zephon. That's this guy here, and he is the pilot of this Knightmare frame here called the Agrarian. I'm probably Agraven. See, that's a Knightmare frame. Originally, I thought this was a. It's based off a or based on a Gawain, a Gareth. That's what a Gareth looks like. See, I thought it was a Gareth at first, but I realized that the wizard from Oz of Reflection, he drives a Knightmare frame or pilots one that has similar elements to a Gareth. I'm not sure why I did that. I just wanted the image. See, that's a Gareth, a Gravian. In case you're wondering, I agree. The animation is really good. It's one of the best parts. It's one of the best selling points of this game. And I kind of wish there was more of just animation than the gameplay, but it is what it is. So that's what this is. This is the Wizard of Oz, and that's Rollo, which means Rollo and the Wizard of Oz are going to be in this game. They may not be in now, but they will be at some point. So that's that. Now, if we go up, now let's just something else. So Ashley, let me type in his name here. Ashley, not furniture. Asra. Yes. He pilots a couple Knightmare frames. Originally, he piloted I think this is it. Yeah. It's called the Ahura Mazada. What a wonderful phrase. Ahura Mazada. Okay, anyways, it's a heavily Knightmare frame. I can tell it's the Ahura Mazada because it has the guns. They look a little different, though, than the one he piloted in Oz or Akito the Exile, but I'm pretty sure that's the Knightmare frame here because what our Knightmare frame has this like red greenish colors and those guns. I'm pretty sure that's what this is here. That's kind of cool. We see these Knightmare frames in action. Took me a while to figure it out that this is the Tristan, the Agraven, the Ahura Mazada, and the Gloucester. So that's what's going on there. Let's move this bigger. Okay. The Gurren destroying one with the arm. Bam. Dead. This is the Lancelot High Grail. This is what Alderaan Zephon pilots. And then here we see the Byakuyan. I think that's what it's called. This is the one that Orpheus pilots. I think it's called the Byakuyan. Yeah. But yeah, it's called Byakuyan. Now, what's kind of weird, and again, this is a strange observation, but in this trailer, or in the animation, he has a yellow horn, but in every image I've seen of it, it's white. Let's go back. Like here, see, it's like white or it's blue, but in this game, it's yellow. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of weird, I guess. So that's what's going on with that. And then we get the Alexander Liberté killing more of the things, and right there, bam! How cool is that? That is a wallpaper-worthy shot, and that's saying something because let's be honest here. Every image in this animation, in this trailer, is worthy of a wallpaper shot. But that one is exceptionally cool. So that's kind of it's pretty awesome to see the Alexander Liberté in action again. The most eye candy for me is just seeing the High Grail and the Byakuyan because. And of course, Renya as well, because we've never seen these things animated before in any context, except you do see the High Grail in the glorification. But other than that, nothing. So really cool. Although all the things a High Grail could do, showing it using the /Harken isn't really that impressive. But still cool nonetheless. And I assume in Abyss mode, we're going to see these Knightmare frames battling the sea world, sea world. No, those poor whales. No, they're going to battle against the creature from the moon. That would be my assumption. Oh, and then you see you see Al running past right here, running past Lush, and does he not know Lush is right there? It's kind of weird. He just kind of like, hey, you don't see me, but anyhow, that's that part there. Putting hands, Gigi, she gives this weird face that she's like evil or something. Is Gigi evil? She might be evil. This is everyone in C's world, like I showed you earlier. Lelouch, that's a strange pose. These two from Akito and Renya, if you've ever read or watched either one, is very accurate. Akito always likes to stand next to a wall in a very like apathetic way, and Renya likes to sit like that. So that's really well done. I haven't read much of Oz's Reflection. I've only seen the summary of it, so I don't know if that's their stances are natural, accurate to the story. But Akito's and Renya's are well done. And then Al's just kind of chilling here, doing his thing, watching the shards. We don't know what shards, but he's watching the shards. And that's the trailer for. We'll get this in a second. That's the trailer for the game. I assume that's the trailer. The animation to start the game. Like when you turn on, that's the first thing that you see. Let's read some comments and we will continue. Maybe the gods couldn't take hearing the hate of the game. Yeah, probably. Again, like I said before, there's some good parts and there's some not good parts. I was hoping that the good parts would outweigh the bad, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So what I'm going to do until I figure out what's wrong with my camera, I'm going to stop the camera. So you just see an avatar, which I don't even have an avatar, which is really stupid. You'd think I would have had one at this point, but I don't have one. Can I add one? Give me a second here. I thought you can pick a, when you're not like broadcasting, you can pick an avatar for your, in case you don't have a camera. But I don't see any options here that let me do this. That is really weird. I thought you could pick an image for. I'm having issues. Like, huh. Oh, okay. I thought you can pick like an avatar for your. Oh, this is it. Yeah, I want to pick something. All right, I figured it out. I'm big brain. I got it. Okay. So you want to go to the logo? Okay, I got it. I figured it out. I should have done it from the get-go if I didn't have a. I think this is the right one. Whatever, we'll find out. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back. You just see my icon now. Until my camera stops being stupid, it's all you can see. Anywho, let's look at the comments. Okay. The key man is dressed as Zero. Yes, he is. The animation looks very good. Very good. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It actually depresses me a little bit because this could have been like a whole show. They always do it in these games. They always show such a beautiful animation, but the gameplay never lives up to it. Even with what's it called? Digimon Cyber Sleuth, completely different game by the way. But even then, the animation's so beautiful, and the game like never captured the same level. But that game was still fun though. Very fun game. If I could, I'd play that stream that live. But I know people want to see Code Geass content, so no Cyber Sleuth. But man, that game so good. Maybe the game will change the fate of Orpheus, Lelouch, so they won't die. No, I think what's going to happen with those characters, not to completely just throw away your idea, but they're going to appear in our universe. Well, Al's universe, I guess. They'll accomplish their goals, and then they're going back to their universe, and they will wait their fate, which unfortunately for Orpheus is death. But is what it is. Since Renya still has the zone. Zone? You're talking about the stone. Oh, it's the stone. Yes, he still has the stone. That's right. It's the Goka Byakuyan, right? The one that Orpheus pilots. Luge, put your mask on. You got a secret identity to protect. I think at this point, everyone knows who he is, but it's true. When I first saw Akito, I thought he was a young woman. That's great. I've never thought of that. That's funny though. Uh, I kind of wish it was an OVA instead of a game. I agree. Can you imagine if this was an OVA? Oh my god! If they made this like a movie or something of the older characters coming back together for one like journey, that would have been way better than what we got here. But it is what it is. But sure, I agree. It would have been nice if it was like OVA or some kind. Maybe it will be in the future. They put so much time to animation, man. Can you imagine they put? I mean, the one thing I'll say with this game is that not to ramble a little bit here, but it's really good. The animation is beautiful. One of my complaints about R1 was how the animation was kind of at some points bad with like the lanky characters and the weird expressions, but this animation's been so good. Unbelievable stuff. Imagine what Z Other Capture is going to look like. Z Other Capture, man, it's going to look good. All right. From the trailer, it looks like Lucia will have a prominent role, but advertising can be misleading, so I'm not sure. Yeah, of course. See Last of Us Part 2. How will Renya encounter Lucia since he looks like Dash? Oh my god. Could you imagine that? He'd be like, wait a minute. You. No, it's not me. No, it is you. No, it's not. Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Unfortunately, Dash is not in the game, or Julius Kingsley. But they said a million characters, so they better be in the game. No excuses. But yeah, that's a good point. It could have been a series, a movie, something, man. I mean, you're wasting the animation on a video game. Well, it's their choice, and it is what it is. Okay. What I said was pretty much pointless in terms of that. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. And the thing too, and you bring up good points, which is these characters are going to interact with each other, or we won't see any interaction with each other, and that's one thing disappointing. Like in the JoJo game, I keep forgetting the name of it, the one where they get all the characters from different time periods together. I think it's called. I'm not even going to pretend like I know. I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. So in that game, because it's a fighting game, you have a little like before the battle starts, characters can talk to each other. JoJo game. What is it called? Oh, JoJo Bizarre Adventure game. It's called. This is it. Eyes of Heaven. So in Eyes of Heaven, when the characters before they get into battle, they do like a little thing before they start, and if you have characters from different time periods fighting, you get funny interactions. We may not have that in this game because the battle isn't a fighting style; it's more like a RPG elements. So our characters going to interact with each other. I'm hoping through the story, when the characters talk to each other, like we saw with like Renya and Alderaan, we're going to see interactions among the characters. I hope they do it well because, as you guys are pointing out, it'd be pretty funny. In Akito, Lush never got to meet Akito, but in the game they will. So does that? So what does he think of him during the Zero Requiem? Well, it depends when they meet up. I assume it's pre-Zero Requiem. Of course, now you just bring up a whole other question. Oh God, now you've ruined everything because if they're going to bring Lush before the Zero Requiem and they tell him that after the Requiem you did something, will that affect the timeline? Oh God. Okay, I hope they figure that part out. Because if Alush goes back in time to stop him, to stop or to collect the shards because of what he did in the future, does that alter the future? Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. But I will. That would be cool to see the interaction between them. But as far as I know, if they're plopped other timelines, there isn't going to be a. The Requiem hasn't started yet. I assume when you see Lelouch with C2, it's early on in the show. Maybe like after the Black Knights are established. I don't think it's anything beyond that. Or even before the final confrontation with Suzaku at the end. Does Pizza Hut still exist in the timeline? That is the most important question. I assume the answer is yes. But we didn't see any advertisements for it. Good question. Uh, Anywho, let's go on to the trailer for the extra part they show, which was a special edition. So let's check that out. All right, we see some Geass, and then we see Al. He looks pissed off. We see the Glinda Knights, Olerin, Marika, Leon Ironheart. Ironheart? That's not his name. And the other two members too. So this is Oz's reflection. And by the way, this building looks like one of the buildings in that. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm jumping over the place, but I think no, I'm looking at it from that angle. I think it is what I thought it was originally. Not here. The original announcement. No, no. Where is it? Here. So when they show you that abyss mode, they showed you like the areas of Code Geass, and one of them, if I'm not mistaken, you guys don't have a headache from me scrolling so fast. One of them was, hold up, that's a story mode. Okay, yeah, this. I think this castle, this must be this. I wonder if this castle is this. It has to be. What else could this be? Just anyways, just a theory. Back to the image here, as we see the Glinda Knights, really cool stuff. Will these characters all be in the game? Probably. We have them again. Okay. All right. Now we have Renya. By the way, look how cool this image of Renya is. You see the arm, and oh my god, this. There's like nothing for Renya of Darkness ever. So seeing him like this is just, it's really cool. It's one of the best parts about the whole trailer I've seen. Just Renya of Darkness stuff. It's really cool. Then again, we see him again. Al is looking through all the different time. Basically, he's an observer. That's what they're showing you here. He's an observer, so you're seeing all the different timelines. Now, what's kind of weird about this one, it shows Akito fighting Shin, but this happened towards the end of Akito the Exile. I figured if you were going to plop someone on their timeline, you wouldn't pick an awkward moment like this. It's kind of weird. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I assume that this is him observing the whole story and not bringing them in. I'd assume, but it's just kind of weird how they picked this moment. He goes, it does it again, and then we get to Lelouch. Now this animation of Lelouch here is brand new. Of course, it makes you wonder if they could make Lelouch look like this. So why not, fix R2 and make a new version? Just saying. A new thing of Nunnally, and then C2 just tearing out the skyline. It's a beautiful picture, don't know the context. Again, Gigi looking evil, and then the Geass power to look at Arpeel's time stream to bring them all together, I guess. That's what's going on there. That's why the Geass is occurring. I wonder if there's limitations of this guy's Geass power. Like, if he uses too much, is he going to, like, infinitely transport different time zones? Does that ever every dimensions and universes? Just curious how that works. I know when like Miles Geass power and Lelouch's, or really anyone's, they lose control over it. So what happens if he loses control over his? Well, let's hope it doesn't happen. But just a thought. Here's the new picture, which is awesome. And here's all the characters. We see Al. We see Gigi, or Gigi, whatever her name is, and then Archive. And then it shows you, I believe, Lelouch. So again, we hear Lelouch here, Akito, and then Renya, which is so cool because we finally get to hear his voice. He's given a voice, which means one day we'll animate Renya of Darkness. That's kind of cool. Then we have Orifice, again, Oz the Reflection, and Alderin, the twins. And then here's the cool part. We got this dude from Crimson the Blood Pack, the Chinese anime or the Chinese story. We get this guy, Arthur of the Misty Streets. My theory is that this takes place in the same time period as Jack the Ripper, given the detective look and also like the style. I think it's probably during that time period, maybe England. Then we get Toshizo of the Unswerving or Swerving, I guess Unswerving. It's a Japanese story, probably ancient Japan. And then we have Zio of the End, which, like I said earlier, I think this is something that takes place in the future, given his outfit's kind of modern looking. So there's that. We see more images from the game, which we saw already before, which is again good recap of everything that we've already seen, I suppose. And then him fighting against the Key Man, which again we don't know who the Key Man actually is. We see the guy from the Blood Pack. So I assume if we're seeing animations like this, then the actual game itself, like the observation mode, we'll see animations for those observations, or for each observation mode. Just theory, because otherwise, why would you see this animation? And again, we see all the characters again. They're all at Sea's World. The thing breaks up, and then we get some footage from the original series that you see there. C2, Suzaku, and Colin. Lelouch doing what Lelouch does best, destroying things. Concept art for the Key Man. Concept art for Al. Gigi taking care of Al in a weird way, but she's more like a mother to him. I'm not sure why she's whatever. There is the archive, and it looks like here observation mode, because I think this is the story mode, the battle story. This is the observation mode because you're playing to the character. Here's what his is gonna look like from the Blood Pack. Here is that ridiculous abyss mode, which I couldn't follow any of it. Again, like even in their best moments to show this animation, not to like be a dick here, but not this. This is so confusing. Still doesn't look that exciting. Like I don't know. And then Luke summons the Gawain, which is cool, you know. It looks cool in the Alexander's in battle, and there's the Byakugan, but I don't know. Lelouch, Akito, Renya, and then you see Alderaan, and then this. Who is this? Who is this masked warrior? They did it again. Who is this person? It's not Lelouch. I wish someone who could read Japanese could tell me who this character's name is. Maybe they tell you. They're both kings, different versions? Maybe it's alternate costumes. Yeah, C2's the queen. I love that. That's great. Perfect. Right there. So Alderaan, Zero, I guess. Here's the character from the new thing coming out, observation mode. Cornelia, this person's from the Blood Pack. That's Zio of the End. This is more characters from different series. Total looks kind of weird there, but Gino, Ayano, yes, and then Lloyd, Mao. Okay, now here's something else I found interesting. If you look at this picture here, there's like this big statue, looks like, and then when you zoom in on the guy he's got a Geass power. So that means that the people you see here, hold on, let's go back a little bit. Toshizo, he has a Geass power. I assume this guy has a Geass power, and I also assume that Zio and Arthur have Geass powers as well. So we're gonna get more Geass powers to come, which is kind of exciting. That's what I was thinking about that. We're gonna have more Geass powers to come. Oh, I got you on my banner. It's been wrong the whole time. Whoopsies. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of cool there. And I don't know what this is. It's like some kind of robotic statue. What time period does it take place in? Maybe it's a magical statue of some kind, or a magical armor, probably. So that's out there. And again, you see the Geass power. So these new characters are going to have Geass power, which is pretty cool. And then we get this. Man, the Renya fan service in these trailers is so good. Guys, don't even make the game. Just make Renya of Darkness. Look how cool this is. He jumps up. Again, he's draining the life energy with his arm. And then we get another image from that the blood pack, and then Arthur of the Misty Streets, which looks really cool, by the way. No Geass power for him, but I assume he has one. And then we get this. And of all the animations you could have shown, what is this? It just shows the Gurren flight-enabled version fighting the Lancelot Conquistador. I don't know, like, what's the Conquista? Like, what's the point of this? It's just so... The animation is bad, too, if I'm being honest. It's bad animation. More importantly, I just don't know what's the context here. Is there going to be battling between the Knightmare frames? I don't know what... Like, why are we seeing the two of them tango? It's cool. It's kind of random, especially like these versions. Like you could have Satan Elements and the Lancelot. Something. I mean, here's a food for thought. Why not show the Versicontrox? You know, the one that Shin drives or pilots. So we can say, oh, he's going to be in the game too, instead of this, which who cares? Very random. We get an image of the Sword of Akasha, and then the ending logo, and then the game ends, or the video ends, and that's with that. It looked really cool. Basically, we're going to get a lot of new stories with new characters, new Geass powers. My plan is once either recapture comes out, or if it's never going to come out, I'm going to do a video discussing all the different Geass powers. I wanted to wait though before making one. I know people asked me, "Hey, go through all the Geass powers," and I don't want to because, as you just saw, we have Al's new ability. We have what's the name? Toshi Zo. I think I just botched that name, but that guy has a Geass power. It's possible there's going to be more than that, and there's going to be a million characters. There's going to be a lot of Geass power, so I want to wait a little bit before I discuss all the Geass in Code Geass. All the Geass in Code Geass. So that's kind of the plan with that. Otherwise, there's no point discussing it because there's already been like a video discussed that's been made that's gone over the Geass power, and since that one's come out, the only new one is Shamna's, and that power is confusing to say the least. Read some comments that we're going to discuss about the recapture. What we know about it. Does Pizza Hut still exist in Thailand? I said that one already. Either way, C2 will always take the pizza and Cheese Coon. C's World actually stands for Cheese Coon World. A little bit of fans, not target accurate, but we'll take it. Plus, Luge has the Gwaine, the Knightmare that belongs to Ulrin and Orpheus. Orpheus. Does he? I don't think so. Surprise, no, Nelly in Wonderland. I'm not surprised. No one likes that. Okay. People like the OVA, but I don't think I'm not surprised there. The animation is hitting me right in the heart. I'll pay me money if they forget these mobile games. They give us real content. Yeah, I agree. I'm happy we're getting new Code Geass stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy about it, but I would prefer just animation. Like if they said, guys, in 2022, we're going to give you some really good a whole Code Geass OVA that discusses this whole series would be an OVA. I just prefer that over a game, honestly. Considering the gameplay of this game has looked very underwhelming. I'm not sure it's going to be in-game purchasing. I hope not. But that's always a real possibility. But yeah, just make animation, guys. It's so beautiful. Why would you waste it on a game? My theory is that the key man is Zaku at 0. I think that's too obvious. But then again, there was a spoiler for the Arkham Knight, which was a Batman game. And everyone knew who the Arkham Knight was, and it was exactly who you thought it was. So you know what? You may not be wrong there. So that's definitely the case. All right. Maybe Suzaku is control and turned against him. Maybe is the key man. It could be. I get the feeling it could be somebody who you least expect. I don't play games, but this one looks awesome. I don't really play games much either. Honestly, I just don't have time. But when I do play games, it's usually RPGs or third-person action games. Like I was going through Nier Automata and also Persona 5, but those games take forever to play. I mean, just for example, Nier Automata, you have to like beat it like 3 times to get everything. I have not even beat it once yet. But there's that. What if Suzaku and Lucia's memories of being Zero got reformed into a weird Zero Keyman inside of C's world? Crack theory. Better than what I have. Genesis Code should be a series. Man, that'd be great. The animation looks perfect, even better than from all the way to 2006. Yeah. Well, 2006 to 2002, right? The animation gap, right? I mean, lots changed. Well, even remember, remember, it wasn't that long ago, but in Lucia the Resurrection, how good was that animation? That was 2 years ago. It was beautiful. Look at this. Look how much better they improved the story. The animation is just like here's like a Knightmare frame, um, like Luch here. I mean, it's really well done. So they really improved the animation even then. It's a huge gap, absolutely, a very large gap. Okay, let's have a zero capture real quick. And I say real quick because there's nothing to talk about. They did a gotcha moment, okay? But there's one thing I do find interesting about Z other recapture from what we learned here. Let me close some of these tabs. It's getting kind of crazy here. Okay. So during the broadcast, they threw out something very early on. It was the Code Geass roadmap. Let's see if I can find it. It was very early on. They showed the trailer and they talked for like a couple minutes. They showed T-shirts, by the way, which I want, and they showed the roadmap. Here it is. Okay, here's the roadmap. Now, here's what's interesting about this roadmap. 2021, Z the recapture. What does that mean? Are we getting Z the recapture in 2021? That's what it looks like to me. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just put 2022 here instead of 2021? Now, notice how it's like the second half of 2021. So maybe it's coming out in a few months. I'm not really like providing much helpful data here because they didn't either. Now it says anime series, but Genesis Code is not an anime series. I'm not sure what's up with that. But the timeline shows everything we've had up to this point. And what's odd to me is that it puts Z at the recapture in 2021. We are now in September. We have what? September, October, November, December. 4 months left in 2021. There have been no trailers, no character announcements. There's no concept art except for this one image. Nothing. There is no way that they're going to have this story ready by the end of this year, unless they've been working it in secret and they're preparing something. But I just find it bizarre they have it listed under 2021. They should have put in 2022. There's no way it's going to be out in 2021. And I'm kind of annoyed that they said in the YouTube video, in the description, they were going to discuss Z of the recapture. Telling me that's going to come out someday isn't helping. That's not what I was looking for. I wanted to hear details. Story, characters, a trailer, new images, anything. We got nothing. What do you expect? It was a complete disappointment. But that's all I got for Zero Capture. 2021, it's still listed under there. Makes no sense to me because we don't know anything about the game. The anime. I've never seen something released with like no concept art, no nothing. Even what's it called? Back Arrow, which was made by the same people who made Code Geass Lucia Rebellion. there were a lot of stuff released before they got it out there. So 2021 for Z recapture doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe some of you might disagree, but I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. So I would say probably 2022. I mean, maybe winter, but still, like, doesn't make any sense to me. Again, with no information about the story of any kind. Let's see here. Some comments. The animation in Code Geass is so good. I assume the animation was from 2010 because it looked better than any show from that decade. Yeah, from that time it was pretty good. It looks like that Z recapture is possibly in the comic and novel series now. It's supposed to be a book. Oh God, is it? Oh no. I hope that's not the case. Because you're right. Why is it listed under comic and novel series? Should it be listed in the? Oh no! Oh no! It's possible they just ran out of room. But then again, they made the Genesis RE code, a little big. Is it going to be a comic and a novel series? No, it can't be because they've been saying it's an anime. I don't think so. I'm going to assume that's not the case, and they simply ran out of room. The charge is vague. Absolutely. What was the point of this? We already know what came out before. You told us in the previous announcement. Man, talk about wasting people's time. Look, just say we don't have anything about Genesis Code. Just be Genesis Code. Zero Capture. Just be transparent. We don't know when it's coming out. We're working on it. That's it. Thank you. Don't throw this crap out here. Don't lie either. That's what I was kind of pissed off too about that announcement. I'm happy with the game in terms of the animations and the overall story, although it requires some more explanation. The gameplay itself is kind of boring, but maybe it won't be when I play it. We'll see. Maybe in October, when the original series broadcast, it'll be announced with info, and maybe on December 5th, Lucia's birthday. The wiki can't lie. The wiki always lies. The wiki says that Toto and Chiba are married. There's no proof of that. They have a kid too, apparently. Look, he can't lie. That's great. But yeah, Zero Capture, that's a good theory. Maybe when they rebroadcast the show, they'll have trailers for it. Maybe December 5th they'll have something, but there's no way this is coming out in 2021. Maybe an announcement for it, but not the show itself. That's impossible. So that's a Zero Capture. Absolutely nothing. All right, let's end this stream by doing some predictions. The first thing I want to talk about is let's close these out. Close this out. Let's go to the main site real quick. Go to the main site. Yeah, they've added more stuff, by the way. The different stories. But what I wanted to talk about was, so you see how the characters are listed here? So we're going to go to the main website. Characters. Who are going to be the last? We see 4 slots here. What do you guys think is going to be the last 4 characters they're going to put from the Luch of the Rebellion? My theory is Rollo, since we saw him in the that trailer. Probably V2, Schneisel, and Dalton. I'm trying to think like who will be the 4 characters in the game before it gets released. Now, granted, since Colin, Suzaku, and C2 were the last, and Yuffie were the last 4, it is also possible that maybe they wanted to cap it with those characters because C2 was a big announcement. I still think, though, we might get 4 more slots. And if we do, it's probably V2, Rollo, Dalton, and maybe Schneisel. Just my thoughts on who I think they're going to have for their main characters, at least for now. But they claim 1 million, so that's good to hear. Now, they don't have listed, by the way, they don't have the blood pack or any other listing of characters, which is weird because they're in the game, so it should be up here at some point. Nobody from Lucifer Resurrection so far. We don't have Shamna or Shalio or Forknar, so that hasn't changed. And no one from two characters from Renya Darkness, which is very disappointing. And we don't see their uncle in this game, among other characters. So I'm thinking we might get a couple more characters before they launch the game in a couple weeks. We'll see. Hopefully, if I can get a copy if I can get a copy of it with the what's it called, with like some kind of translator, I could play it for you guys. Even though the game might be kind of boring, we'll see. Maybe when you play it in person, you'll feel differently. But either way, that's what's going on with that. I think we're gonna get a couple more characters. Definitely Rollo. They already kind of hinted it, so Rollo will probably be in here. Surprised we haven't seen him. I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet. Anyways, and here, Shin Hyuga, I think, would be kind of cool. That's my thoughts about the new character we're gonna get at this point. Other thing about the game that I'm excited about is again, the animations look great. The specials look cool too. I'll say this much: if we have the specials like the Gwen and the Alexander Liberté, I think that'd be kind of cool to see those in action. I'm looking forward to that. It'd be cool to see if Renya has like a special attack he does when he levels up his arm for the second time, where he can like take a whole area, as opposed to before we only could do he had to do like direct contact, like the Gurren. So that'd be kind of cool. Other things about predictions, ideas I have about this game going forward. I'm curious to see how they handle the whole time situation, how they handle the interaction between the different characters during the story. That'd be kind of cool. And observation mode to me is the only thing I really care about when it comes to this game, because we're going to finally see the entire story of Ozra Reflection told to us in a narrative way, and Renya of Darkness. I'm curious to see, they might explain certain questions I had when they tell those stories. Of everything we got announcement for, that was got me the most excited. Because as you guys know, and I'm sure you already do, I want to see those stories animated. And what they're doing here is teasing, and that's not nice. But at least from what we got, we're going to finally see those stories told to people, because people don't know about Reign of Darkness or Ozra Reflection. And there's some people here and there, but it's not common amongst the Code Geass fan base. I think we're finally going to get that into the mainstream, and then maybe we'll get an anime for it. Who knows? Wouldn't that be something? Let's take a look at some more comments here. There is no proof that Toto is married, though the wiki could be right. Toto's not married. Wiki always lies. Yeah, Toto isn't married to Chiba. There's a joke about it in the film where Toto says it's good to be, to marry and settle down. But Chiba looks at him like, okay, and why aren't we married? She gives this look of disgust. It's pretty funny. Where's Shin, Layla, Akito, your girlfriend? Yeah, there's no Layla in the game either. I completely forgot about her. Not on purpose, but I did forget about her. Yeah, where's Layla? Come on, guys. Layla. But we get Shirley, right? Frickin' Shirley and her backpack of doom. She can shoot a gun. Why isn't she using a gun? Whatever. Well, there's 2 weeks left before the game releases. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. Did they make Toto and Chiba canon? Maybe I missed in the new stuff. Off-topic question, I know, laugh aloud. No, they're not canon. In the new film, they're not canon. There's like one image where it shows Chiba and Toto with Ogi and Valletta, and people wrongly assumed the kid is Chiba and Ogi's Toto's. He's not cheating on Valletta. Now he wants to live. So we go to the very end of the movie. People looked at this image and they got the wrong idea. This one here. So you see here, you see Chiba and Ogi and Toto are having a fun time, but the baby is Ogi's. It's not their child, and they're not married. So, no, this is completely wrong. But yes, in case you were wondering, that's completely inaccurate. Maybe Renya's arm can extend like crazy with its target. Renya is broken. Yeah, Renya is extremely overpowered. I hope they really have fun with that. They should have Clovis and Bartley in the game. I don't know. Bartley, maybe Clovis. You know what? Shirley's in the game. Agreed. Put both of them in. Look, a million characters, right? Let's get started. Replace Nunnally and Shirley with Layla and Shin. Yes, and Junro. Where's Junro? If you got Shin Hyuga, you have to have his girlfriend too. Oh, no Millie Ashford either. How come there's no Millie Ashford? Why can't we have her in the game? You know, we have someone use her school authority to attack people. No Millie in the game. Hmm. Very bizarre. Mao over Rollo is also kind of bizarre too, but I guess they're that's the direction we're going with that. Yeah, there's like nobody. I mean, I like these characters, but like, where's Jean Ro and Shin Yu? You think you would take like the character and their I don't know the villain that goes with them? But then again, though, in the Lucia Rebellion, you don't have Schneisel or V2 or Charles, so you gotta drink some water here. Charles is not in the game. Uh, Millie can't be in the game because she wouldn't sexually harass anyone else. Creento. Hello, man. Welcome. Kind of late to the stream. We kind of went through like everything, but I would encourage you to go through like beginning to the end, see all the stuff we discussed. But we went through basically the trailer or the announcement, the two animations they showed, the gameplay, just everything. It was quite extensive. Replace Ogi with Alto and Dash. Or Mao and Ogi, agreed. I was surprised Mao's inclusion, but he actually does have a lot of fans. No, look, Mao isn't a bad character. He's just not a good person. So, no, it makes sense. I just don't like it. The priority of character is the confusing part of the story. Like, you went from, like, Lelouch, Nunnally, Tamaki. How did you do that? Lelouch, Nunnally, Tamaki. Then Gino. Okay, where's Anya? I mean, it's kind of weird the decision. And I like Cecile. Don't get me wrong, but like, what was the rationale between picking these characters in the order that they were chosen? Very bizarre stuff. Not complaining, just kind of confused. This made sense. They wanted to hold us off to the end. But yeah, why Tamaki? Why Tamaki? Why Tamaki? Indeed, I don't know. I really don't know. Looking at our stuff, like our notes I have before we end the stream. Let's see. So if Renya attacked and the manga, okay, that's true. Yeah, that's all the major things I wanted to discuss here. I guess we hang out for a couple minutes. If Shirley had the gun, she'd shot Valletta. She might actually be useful. Well, yeah, and for some reason in the gameplay, she was throwing her bag at people, and she was doing it so gingerly, like eh. And I'm thinking to myself, honey, like, no offense, but we're fighting to save the world. Like, what are you doing? Why would you bring a briefcase, a school bag, to a fight? Like, you could die. It's pretty serious what's going on in this game. Like, it removing the fan service in Code Geass, that seeing Shirley throw a knapsack at somebody, that takes me out of the game. Forget about everything else. That takes me out of it because we need to save the world from being frozen in time. And you have Shirley. Look at it; she's playing for her hair and acting goofy. Like, you understand the situation we're in. Do you see Gigi here? She has two guns. She is dual wielding. This is not a joke. What are you doing? Stop acting adorable in a situation where the characters could die. Like Nunnally, at least she's like, kind of normal looking there. Of course, poor Nunnally, right? It's like, let's go into battle. What are we fighting? Oh, don't worry, it's safe. Are you sure? Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And you look at like a bunch of these sea creatures or sea world creatures that they're fighting. But yeah, she's like, oh, I'm tough here. No, no, Shirley, you're not. You're worthless. Stop acting cute and stop throwing knapsacks at people. Pull out your gun and get serious. God, Shirley's inclusion in this game. Did they literally make her a troll on purpose? She's like everyone else looks serious here. They're ready to go battle. She's like, hey, happy to be here. Oh God, backpack. Here, take that. I might just play this game just to kill off Shirley every time. I don't hate the character, but the way they make her in this game, it's so obnoxious. She's. Do you see what you did there? Hold on, hold on. Did you throw her comb at somebody? Yeah, she's throwing her comb at somebody. That shouldn't hurt anybody. Is that a comb or a phone? What was that? It's her phone? That was effective? Wow. Here you have Gigi shooting at people, and Shirley just threw her phone at somebody. Gigi, what are you doing? Put those guns away. Get a phone. It's more dangerous. It's more deadly. You two, Psycho, put away the shurikens. Get a phone. What a joke. Oh, man. Uh, Arthur the Cat. Why not? I found our audio drama of Schneizel flirting with Cornelia. You did? Which audio drama was that? Is that R1 or R2? Let me know when we get to that point. Sure's at a battle scene in her school uniform. Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? Like, at least with Sayako, and not only they couldn't change for obvious reasons, but you could literally wear anything you want, and you wear the school. Oh man, surely, just good stuff. Oh hail Lady Lelouch, Empress of the world. Oh god, callback from my other stream where they said Lelouch was the daughter of Charles. Oh my god, that was actually a thing. Now, somebody Code Geass production has Shirley as the best girl. I don't know how else you can explain her being in this game, in the whole resurrection thing. I mean, they make her so she seems out of place. I don't think she realizes this is a serious situation. You know, they haven't shown, by the way, if your character can die in combat, and when they do, what happens. That'd be interesting. Like, do they fall down? You know, do you switch? Can you switch out characters? Who knows? And by the way, her special power. Start to I think. Yeah, look at this. Her special ability is to serve drinks to people. Oh my god, drinks to people. Yes, that would do the trick. That's how you defeat the Sea World, the end of the moon. Give them drinks, and they'll stop attacking us. That's the key, people. That's always been the key. Give them the key. Give them the drinks. It's called Imperial Siblings. All right, let's look it up. Let's see. My mouse sucks. Okay. Miscellaneous audio dramas. Okay. Imperial Siblings. I just saw it and I just missed it. Wait, I hit I though. Let's just go back. I saw it over here. Okay. Schneisel and Cornelia are sitting together and talking to Yuffie. Yuffie's getting close to turning 13, and Schneisel flatters both her and Cornelia. Okay. He comments how he expected Cornelia to stay in Area 14 as a viceroy. She doesn't seem to care about politics, only wants to crush her enemies. Schneisel cautions her, says, "You should always leave your opponents with a little will to live so they remain productive." Wow, that's rough. Probably accurate. And then Schneisel tells Cornelia that he wants to recommend her to become the next viceroy of Area 11. Cornelia doesn't want to do so, so they think about sending Clovis instead. Clovis tries to be cordial to Cornelia, but won't take part. Clovis brings Marion, and they start talking about Lelouch and Nunnally. So I guess it's the part where Schneizel and or Schneizel flatters Cornelia. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I see how you I'm going in, putting a pile of reasons Schneizel needs to be put down. Schneizel is, yeah, he's got some problems. You know, mass genocide and all. It's not a big deal, but like it's a problem, and it probably should be addressed at some point. I just can't. I know it's like a meme at this point, but I just can't get over this like comment of Shirley. Like, is anyone else this pathetic in the gameplay? Like, she's just is she even aware of what's going on? Is she even aware? Like everyone else is taking this fight very seriously, and she's just like playing for hair during the combat. Does anyone else act like this, or is it just her? I'm curious to see like other gameplay with like other characters. Yeah, I guess we'll never know. And the girl wanted Shirley, by the way. She was like, "I want to be Shirley." Like, no, please don't pick Shirley. I remember I commented during the live stream, like, "Please don't pick Shirley." Oh God, you picked Shirley. I mean, they just don't get it, you know. That's a really cool photo too. It's got all the characters. It's a 30. Yeah, yeah, I just missed. Yeah, and then this, like, it's just. Oh, man. Okay. I don't hate Shirley's character, but man, like the it seems rather weird how they designed her for this game. Considering she gets serious too in the show, it's kind of disrespectful to the character, which makes sense because the writers hate her anyways, for whatever reason. Shirley has got a level. It's sad. Shirley's the underdog. Oh, Rolo. Yeah, you know, Rolo. Maybe we need him right now. I'm just joking. That was awful. One of the worst scenes in the show. Like, not like worse in quality, but just what happened was pretty bad. Yeah. So that's kind of. I'm just trying to see anything else I wanted to discuss. We kind of went through everything at this point. Um, yeah, I guess that's all I have. We'll see what happens when the game comes out. If there's a way I can play it, I'll definitely play it on stream. If not, I'll have to figure out something else. There is a way to do it. I've been just talking to people about it. I'm sure it's possible, but that's the goal. It's to come out in 2 weeks. I don't really want to watch people play the game because what's going to happen is they're going to spoil the story. We're going to find out who the key man is and all that stuff. I don't want spoilers, so I feel like being in the Code Geass fandom and not getting spoiled about this game is like impossible. So I'm going to find any way I can to play this game because I just don't want to get spoiled. Anywho, that's all I'm gonna do. That's all we got for this one. I'm going to try to get the Lelouch versus Light intelligence video up for this week. I'm almost done with it. I'm just doing some more polishing and editing and stuff. I might have to do some other stuff too with it. There's a lot to talk about. I'm concerned people are not gonna like it. Not for the reasons you think, just because there's not a lot of assumptions made, but it's a very specific way I'm looking at the characters. You guys see when it comes out. Anyways, thanks for stopping by with me for this stream. And have a good week, guys. I'll see you Sunday next week. And next week. And we'll do this again. Hope my camera won't be messed up. I still don't know what happened with it. It's so stupid. Like I'm still squared out. What the heck? I guess going forward, I got to make sure that I change the battery before it dies and not after. But anyways, yes. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good week, and we'll do it again next week. Upcoming videos coming up soon. All right, take care, guys.